And then what causes multiple strokes? I've done some videos on this. Some people, it's genetic. So some people are just predisposed to it. The other thing is lifestyle. We know for a fact that there are lifestyle factors that increase your risk of having a second stroke. Sleep quality, metabolic syndrome. So that's where a lot of the chronic inflammation stuff I've talked about and the oxidative stress and all of that. The poorer your lifestyle is, or the more compounding factors you have. So they're kind of like layers. You might eat bad occasionally, but you don't smoke, you don't drink alcohol, you have low stress, and you sleep well, you might not be as susceptible to having another stroke as someone who eats all ultra processed foods, sleeps 3 hours a night, drinks alcohol, smokes, and eats a lot of sugar. That person's going to be a whole lot more likely. So I don't want anyone to feel bad about themselves. There is no right or wrong. It's just what areas of your life do you think you can address that are going to cause you the least amount of unhappiness? So that's what I always say is the starting point. What's not going to completely destroy your life? I mean, if you would not be able to go on living if you had to give up your daily brownie after dinner, true story for some people that I've talked to, they just have to have dessert after dinner. Well, of course you're not going to start with that. The goal isn't to make your life miserable. The goal is start with the things that you could take it or leave it. I'll give you a perfect example. I read something probably about maybe 10 years ago about shellfish. I'm not going to get into the data because I don't really remember all of the data on it, but shrimp, oysters, anything that doesn't swim, basically. I read somewhere that they're kind of like the bottom feeders of the ocean. So they pick up a lot of, they eat whatever, all the other sea life kind of deposits. And I was like, that's kind of interesting. And I grew up on a lot of that stuff. I mean, I ate a lot of shrimp, a lot of oysters, a lot of that kind of food, but it didn't really emotionally hurt me to give those foods up. So I just kind of stopped eating those foods. That would be an example of something where there's some things that you could be doing that aren't really that hard to give up. I could take it or leave it. It wasn't that big of a deal to me. I'm not obsessive about things. But in that case, I'm like, if there's a 1% chance that there's some truth to this, and I don't really have to have it at every meal, then I just kind of stopped eating it. I still have it occasionally if I go to a party or I go to a friend's house and that's all that's there, but it doesn't disrupt my life. That's an example of something. There's probably things you could give up that aren't going to disrupt your life, that are going to decrease your chances of having multiple strokes. If you liked that video, check out these 2 videos down here. If you want even more support or ideas on how to improve your overall health and movement quality, check out our Gold membership program. As a member of that program, you will get access to over 300 exercises that are not here on YouTube, as well as access to our monthly live Q&A where you can get your specific questions answered. I enjoyed spending time with you all today, and I will see you here on YouTube in the next video.